Hi, everyone, and welcome. This is Karen Newman. This is the Saturday Human Colony Hucolo webinar. It is Saturday, the 4th of December, 2021, and we have with us our very healthy and happy leader, Grand Poobah, Jim Charles. Hi, Jim. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thanks.
Good, good. It's good to see you, and you're not coughing. You look healthy. I'm glad to see you.
Oh, thank you. Yes, yeah. I'm much better.
Awesome, awesome. So we have a nice filling up room full of people. Why don't we start with a couple of announcements? Angie, do you have any announcements for us?
The first announcement for those that are new to us, we have a book that was written and created by Max and Jim, with Galaxy with
from the Galaxy
with Love. We are going to be scheduling our next online class. Jim is going to go ahead and he's got several requests. I've told him about the rest requests on my end that I've received from people. If you're interested in any classes, please send your interest to classes@hucolo.org, and I will get you into the appropriate spot so that when we do schedule that particular class, you will have first notification. Classes@hucolo.org.
Yes. Okay. Right now it's between Matrix class and a Galactic energy healing class. So if you have a preference, please send it to Angie so that we can see which one is more requested.
Perfect. Okay, so in the room we have Jim, myself, Susan, Angie, Barbara, Carol, Christine, Ian, Joan, Celeste, Sheer, Stephanie, Sultan, Summer, and Wendy. At this moment, more coming in, so we'll, So hi to everyone, and hi to everyone in the YouTube chat. We'll start with some blessings. We'll start with Susan, then we'll do Barbara, and then Angie. So.
Te si tukoia ia, si atotoia i tikia ia, si atoia. He za totoia i tukoia ia, si atokoia ia, i sekataia i tukoia ia. He si a tukototea ia, sukuia, i tikaia ia, si tukoia ia. He si a tukotoia ia, si atokoia ia, si kia tukoia. Namaste.
We pray that you all stay in the light, for it is a treacherous time, and there are very deceptive ways to move you out of the light. But keep your attention on God and the light on your pathway, and you shall succeed. Don't let anyone make decisions for you that are not good ones, for you will pay for those decisions that are not your own.
Thank you. Good.
Shatata hiatoko ahi. Napaka diatoko shoaha. Tapakiatna ki shiata kiatiato. Maka tiata kanakia shiato. Kapaka shiato koata hiata. Kiata makia hatiatoko. Kipa hiata. Shishitiato koati. Kipiata kanati kanato koroto kiata. Namaste.
Lift your hearts up to God. Stay in good spirits. Bring yourself into the light and into a positivity. Do not let yourself get too down. I know that there are things in the earth that will bring you down, but remember, your joy is in God, is in the Lord, and is in the universe, and in the knowing that you are doing the will of God.
Uhataka niata shuku uana. Hiaha no ku tutuchia tiataka a. Hana hayawakata. Shisha hanako yatiki. Mia ya hanoko a. Yaratuku shi. No harakaniatakua a. No harakani shiki kiatika monodukura. Namaste.
When we look at the earth, we can see the pinpoints of light, which are each of you that are sending out positivity into the world. Please continue so that when we look at your planet, greater light can be seen. It is a difficult time, but great light can be observed from a distance, and we know that you are looking forward to positivity and success in your alignment with God.
Thank you. Okay, so we do have some requests. I'll just go through them quickly. We have Archangel Michael, a Grendel, Elijah, a Pleiadian speaking about ascension. There was a request for a dragon, and then from the YouTube chat, there was a request for Bayruth, the white dragon from Metwali. And then Summer requested Pharaoh Amenhotep, if I said it right, Amenhotep. The third, the ninth pharaoh of the 18th dynasty, Joan of Arc, the Unicorn Collective, and yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot. Okay.
it's not, oh, and Saint Germain, Wendy's putting in there.
Okay. Very good. There's a lot of people here today, so we'll see if we can get through more than one or two. Hold on, and I will do a meditation, and I'll be back in a moment with someone who wants to speak to you.
Perfect. We look forward to speaking to them.
Greetings, I am Elijah.
Welcome, Elijah.
Many ask, what is the will of God for my life? But yet they close their eyes and look elsewhere and do the things of third dimension and are not really looking for any guidance. There are some that do ask for guidance, but they are not serious enough to accept what they can hear or what can be felt. Remember this, as you are looking out into the world, which you must do, because looking only close by will only bring you so much of your mission. But looking out into the world, you will find a greater mission. There are many that need help, and many that need love, many that need understanding, compassion, many that need food, clothing. And those of you that are willing to reach out to those people in the world, and not just reach out to family members and friends, but actually reach into the world to help the world. You will be doing the greater work because your example will be seen in a greater way. Remember, God is here to bring the world into unity, bring the world into a love and oneness that is so difficult to find in this day and age. Remember, you are here to bring peace and justice. You are here to command the goodness to come through. You are not here actually to discriminate or to judge or to argue or to make things worse for people. You are here to teach. You are here to let people know what is right and what is bright and loving and kind. And they will see from you what needs to be done. And they will know from you what they are to do as well, because it will pass through to different people. Of course, not everyone will take up the sword to fight for what is right, but many will. This is a day and age of change. This is a day of aid and age of love. But it is also a day and age of separation. Keep yourself together and keep your loved ones close by. But remember, there's more than just them in the world. Mother Gaia needs help. The ecology needs help. The cities need help. The people of the world need help. The earth, Mother Gaia, is suffering with so many things right now and is dealing with so much harshness. Please give her as much energy as you can. Now, many of you are going out of your way to help Gaia and the ecology and many other things. Continue to do so, and God will bless you for that. But I know some of you are a little afraid to deal with people because you see what they are like in this day and age. Those of you that can have friends to talk to and share the things of out here with the world, you are blessed to have friends that are able to talk to you about everything. But you are not able to talk to the world about all the things you know. You are not able to talk to the world about all the things that are inside of you. But you can show them your love. You can show them your understanding and compassion. You can lend a helping hand. You can be pleasant. Many of you will lend a helping hand, but be grouchy if someone is not following directions. That is not the example that God is wishing for you or for them. Just be patient, help them, move them forward, get them to where they need to be. They'll be grateful if you are loving and compassionate during this time. It is not easy to work with the world. It is not easy to work in some of these areas. Your love must be greater than your anger. Your love must overcome all the negativities within you when dealing with the world. Sure, there is justice that must be stood up for. Yes, some things will be able to be argued about in the sense that justice must be shown. But for the most part, you are just going to be helping and lending a hand and showing those people how you are and what God's love is like. Many people do not know these things. Many people do not understand that God even exists because they are feeling lonely and afraid and low. Some of you feel this way as well. Keep yourself in a more positive frame. And the way to do that is by doing things for others, saying kind things all the time, preparing yourself in a way that God wants you. Yes. One moment. So there is many things that you may understand about what I just said. The way to keep yourself happy is by doing things, by reading things of positivity, by reaching out your hand to help, by loving and praying and meditating. You cannot be idle and expect to be in a good frame of mind. You will fall into depression. You will fall into boredom. You will fall into a place where you cannot get out of. But if you do something, if you read something positive, if you decipher the scriptures, there are many things you can do to stay out of negativity. But idleness is not one of them. And idleness is what I see with many of you. you find yourself not doing anything except worrying about third dimensional things, conspiracy theories, and not really helping anyone. Spreading these kinds of informations are not helping people. People have already made up their mind what they are going to do. You're not going to change their mind by talking to them. You're going to cause separation, yourself from them. You're going to cause them to be upset and angry. You're not going to cause unity. So why go about spreading these things that only cause dysfunction? Spread things that cause unity. Spread things that cause beauty and love. Stop looking at things and trying to teach people why they're wrong, but teach people why you're right, in the sense that you have beauty, love, and compassion, mercy, and forgiveness. This is what you should be showing them, not facts and figures from the world. Facts and figures from the world will be misconstrued every time. You cannot show somebody facts and figures and have them understand them completely. They might get the idea of it, but they will not see it the same way as you do. And if they do, then you may discuss it with them, and that is a good friend and companion. But if there is someone that is not agreeing with you, don't argue with them. You will only cause problems. You will only cause yourself problems, and you will only have them look down on you, or you look down on them. You must agree to disagree with some people and just let it go. For many of you, that's very difficult, but you must do it. This is a day and age where you must seek the unity, the blessing of oneness, the feeling, the love of oneness, the grace of oneness. And that, my friends, my brothers and sisters, that is your mission. Maybe your mission is to speak in front of many people, but do not desire to do so just for popularity. Do not desire anything for your own gain, but for the gain of God, for the gain of love and peace and understanding. Keep yourself away from trying to be haughty and know more than everybody else, or being an intellectual. That will show in your love, it will show in your kindness, and all the other things that you are doing in a positive way. But to be up there in front of the people and just want them to see how good you are, how intelligent you are, how much healing is in your hands, that is not your mission. Your mission is to serve God and to make yourself humble in front of the world. No matter how much power God gives you, humility is what the people will see and what they will respect. You may be tortured by some because they want to be more powerful than you and look down on you and say, aha, they're weak. But who is really the weak one? Who really has the upper hand? Is it God, or is it those that stand in front of you and mock you? God will always have the upper hand, even though you may not be able to see it, or feel it, or know it, but he will always have the upper hand. he will always have the upper hand. Now, my children, my friends, my brothers and sisters, be well. There are many things out there that will try to get you down and try to destroy you because they don't want your voice to be heard. But rise up. Do not give in to this. Do not tell them that they are right or that sickness will kill you or destroy you, but it will make you stronger. Rise up. Continue to move forward and speak your mind in God. Amen. Yeah. Yeah. One moment.
All right.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Greetings.
Greetings, Grendel. How are you?
Oh, you know my name.
I was going to tease you like I didn't know who it was, but I
Yeah, I know
I'd be
that. That's
lying
why I
then.
was surprised you said that. But anyway, I'm here to, I know that someone has called me, but what I'm here for is to update on some of the government meetings,
Okay.
because they're over now and some things have been established a little better, I think. First contact is a matter of the efforts of those that are on the planet that have been grandfathered in to the planet. They have been given a great responsibility because they are now going to start showing themselves to the humans. People that you have been friends with for a long, long time may come out as being alien and show themselves to you, or at least tell you that they are. And this will be something of a revelation. It will be something of first, a third contact, close encounters of the third kind, if you will, where you will actually know an alien or see an alien or understand that someone is an alien. This is happening throughout the world with some that have risen to speak to the world, some Pleiadians, some Orions, some angels, some things of this nature are happening around the world, and people are knowing that there are aliens among them. So this will happen more often. And that was part of what was discussed at the end of the galactic meetings. The governments were not real happy about that, but they understand that these people that were grandfathered in are in third dimensional bodies for the most part. Not all of them. Some of them are in fourth dimensional beings and etc. But I'm not going to go through all that. But there are going to be government officials that are going to come out as well. I don't know how soon that will be, but there are government officials that are aliens. Not only in the United States or Russia or China or Australia, but in many different areas of the world. It's not necessary just for the big countries to have aliens in their leadership, but it is important that they are all around and with different countries. So this may start to be part of the revelation of first contact. Now, yes, they had started to plan an artificial attack with that aliens would be involved in. I am one of the persons that are not going to support that. And that's coming from United States and Russia. They would like to set a precedent and have aliens look completely bad in every single way. But they're just, right now it's propaganda. They're saying they're invading our skies. We're not sure they're positive. They're asking questions about why they're appearing around nuclear power plants or nuclear submarines or Air Force bases or the military and the governments want to know why aliens are there. But they're not there to hurt. They are there to help. Many times after a meltdown on a nuclear power plant, you will see saucers or alien spacecraft. They are trying to contain the meltdown. And so they will be seen. Some say, oh, they're there to cause the meltdown. But no, they're there to relieve it. They are there to stop it. They are there to contain it. That is why they are around some military bases. They want to contain some of the really highly destructive things that are happening there. So they are there as a warning to those that are destructive. So this is what was explained to them at the government meetings. Another thing is, a big attention has been drawn to the reincarnation machine, as it's called. And it's not made by humans, but it's being deconstructed. It has no positive nature, and it's been there too long. The reason why it was there as long as it was is because nobody knew what it was really doing. But now it has been disclosed what it is doing, and so it has been attacked and it is out of commission at this moment. So those that were stuck in this reincarnation machine are now free. They are trying to repair it, but it will not happen. It will be destroyed. So those of you that know about it, please do not worry about it, because it was only for a certain amount of people, a certain group of people to begin with. It did not include everyone. All right. Also, medicine, the same situations and conversations about medicine were had by this group of galactic government people, and nothing was resolved with that. But there was a lot of conversation about it, and I'm glad there was, because they're starting to relent a little bit. They're starting to give in a little bit. They're saying and seeing that they know that they can't hold out forever having aliens stay off the planet. They know how many aliens are in the solar system, even though they're not in third density. They're in many densities, but they can see them because they were given the ability to by reptilians and some of the others. So they see what's out here. Hold on. He would have to bring me through.
Be gentle in Jim's throat, yeah.
But they see what's out here, and they are frightened about it, but they also know that we've been here a long time and have not destroyed the world. They think that we're going to have a quiet takeover of the planet. They use all kinds of excuses to make us look bad, but we're not trying to take over the planet. Who wants that responsibility? It's a mess. I don't want that. Nobody wants to take over the earth except those that want to redo it completely and make it into their own place. So don't worry about that. Nobody wants to take over your governments. They're too much of a mess. All right. there's a ton of things to talk about, but I want you to ask some questions.
Okay, is there any questions for Grendel? Barbara was the one that requested you. Barbara, do you have a question?
I didn't have a question, but he's talking about what I was going to ask him to talk about was all the government meetings, etc. So thank you.
One more thing. The Area 53s, that's a concern of some of the people here. So Area 53s are where the couples are going to meet, or supposedly. They're doing something different now. Since the meetings have been over, let me explain. There's a central area where the couples will meet, alien and human or whatever. Then outside that, there is scientific studies, X-ray machines, ultrasound machines, all kinds of technology. That's in the second ring of these stations. In the third ring, they are now working in the third ring. They have not completed the first two, but they are now working on a third ring around the center. And that ring is housing. It looks like housing. We don't know exactly what it is, but it looks like housing of some sort. So they're doing something different this time around. But they're the test groups that they are going to start bringing into these Area 53s, as they're called, will start maybe at the end of February, if everything is finished.
Okay, thank you. There's a question from Sheer. Go ahead, Sheer.
Hey, Grendel, it's been a while. How are you?
I am well.
So you're saying that by the end of February, some of the couples are going to have their chance?
Maybe. I have to, that is what they're planning. Now, there is a lot of things for them to do before this area is ready. I don't know how they could actually say February, because I don't see that they're going to be ready, but that is what they said at the government meetings.
But it was approved.
By most, yes.
Mm-hmm. And what is this reincarnation machine that you mentioned before?
It's on the moon. And it's
what is this?
It has been identified as a reincarnation machine. Before, it was seen as a telescope or something that was used for looking at the planet through the moon, but now it has been identified as some kind of reincarnation machine, and it's being destroyed. It was attacked several times within the last 3 months.
Can I ask what is the purpose of this?
They wanted to keep certain people reincarnating continuously because they believe that if they did that, it would destroy their mental capacities and destroy their missions.
How can they navigate souls into this?
Yes, that was the question, but we don't know. But the thing is, it's been destroyed to a certain extent. It's not working at this time.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ian has a question. Go ahead, Ian.
Actually, Sheer asked my question regarding the reincarnation machine. I was just wanting some elaboration on that, which Grendel
it's
just
a
provided.
bizarro thing. Yeah. I didn't think that it really existed. I had heard of it before many years ago, but I didn't think it was really existed. But I guess, from what I understand, that they had verified something about it that was that seemed to fit with that thought process. So they have attacked it.
And I guess maybe a little bit of follow-up on that. Was the reincarnation machine specifically for entities here on Earth to reincarnate?
Yes.
Okay. And it is completely separate from the the big reincarnation process that all
Correct.
humans go through.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you very much.
This was a much, much more negative kind of reincarnation. They weren't making contracts or agreements. They were being sent back into very negative situations. That's what I understand.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, great. Wendy has a question. Go ahead, Wendy.
Thank you. I wanted to find out if you could tell me what the blue robots, where they're from or what their purpose is. I know I've been seeing them in astral travel and they kind of look like C-3PO, but their eyes aren't like big and round like that.
Right. There are several different AI species. Of course, with so many different species being out there, you're going to have to expect that there's going to be a lot of AI species, because every single civilization that is space bound or has traveled in space is also very high tech and created their own cyborgs or robots or whatever. They've created AI, they've experimented within it, their own physiology, blah, blah, blah. So there are probably several different AI groups, not necessarily in this area of the universe, but I know of at least 5 different AI groups that are considered AI groups. The blue robots are just now coming into this area, and they are actually one of the more friendly AI groups, because they were given the ability to feel in some ways. They were given the ability to understand what feeling is and how to latch on to emotional feelings on other worlds. So they are actually rather friendly. The ones that we have to be afraid of are 200 million light years away. They are very hostile. They are just after information, and they don't care if they have to destroy or hurt or whatever to get what they want. They will do it. And they don't usually destroy civilizations, but they are hostile toward them in the sense that they will destroy certain things to get what they want.
Thank you very much. I had a feeling that we were working together and doing some kind of cloaking, but I didn't really understand the full scenario.
Yeah, they're more amenable. They're more friendly.
Thank you for your insight, and always a pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you.
Blessings.
Okay, thank you. Okay, there's some questions. Can you hear me okay? There's some questions from, let me scoot a little closer, from the YouTube chat. I'm going to save, well, no, I'll ask the question. There's a question from Curious Light Channeler. It's something completely different. It says, do humans really have the ability to give things the breath of life, like a poltergeist or golem, for example, and transform them into a living entity?
Yes, but it's not the same kind of breath of life that you would find from God. Usually it's the breath of life of technology, of magic, or of some kind of other power. You see, magic is a God-created power. So if you're using magic to breathe life into something, yes, if God approves it, if you are able and are positive, he will give you that abilities. But just to go around breathing the breath of life into something doesn't happen. It's a great responsibility. However, mankind is learning many, many, many advanced things right now, as you will see, and it will be a positive age to come in the future. But before that positive age, they will abuse everything. So keep that in mind.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. There's a question that says, can you tell us about the red aggressive cloud near the Earth?
The red aggressive cloud. Now, I understand that it's been explained to me a couple different ways. I've never seen it. There is a spiritual cloud of some sort. It can be seen by third dimension in density, and it does cause some negativity. But I have not heard that it has destroyed anything. Have you?
No, this is you can answer in the chat if you have. They just were more intimidated
But
by
it
the
seems to be a
looks.
life form, yes.
Okay, seems to be a life form. All right. Let's see. Tanito says he wants to. Tanita, sorry, she wants to know if she's visited any of the colonies and
Yes.
and what does my hybrid daughter Priyata do there? Where is she at?
Yes, she is at the colonies and she loves it there. And your daughter is helping Nina. Do you know? I don't know if everyone who knows who Nina is. She runs the colonies.
Okay.
But she is part human hybrid, and so the human hybrids are running the colonies with the alliance, the Gurkvikdir alliance, and they are doing a great job. Now, when she goes to the colonies, she does use them as well. She uses colony 4 for channeling, colony 1 for light language and telepathy, colony 7 for meditation, and colony 6 for healing.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right. Temple Beautiful has a question. She said, what was the intention last night? What was the intention of who? Temple, maybe retype your question. Her question's kind of cut off. I'm going to ask her to type it again. She says, what was the intention last night and why did they use the front door? But do you know what
she's talking about a visitor, an alien visitor or a spiritual visitor?
I suppose. Maybe she can clarify. We'll come back to that question.
All right.
Okay. Let me see. Trinity says, I heard that Hirokabus or red planet asteroid will not hit the Earth because of great damage with its pull, because Earth has fissures in the ocean. Can you share with us about how soon it would pass us?
That is very far off. This particular asteroid that she mentions, they're seeing as being years away. So they are going to deal with it, and they do believe that it will get really close to the Earth, but that it will not hit the Earth. The other asteroid that they thought was going to hit the Earth is going to miss by quite a ways and will not affect the Earth at all. That would have been the first one that would have hit the Earth. But they are now starting to send out rockets or satellites or whatever you want to call them to analyze these different asteroids and their trajectories so that they have a better idea of what's going on. So they're sending things into space to check on these asteroids and things. So if they're going to have to destroy it, they're going to have to make that kind of technological move well before it gets close to the planet.
Okay. Okay. Ooh, I'm just turning my video. Turn that off. Okay. Let me see. There's a question from Jorma. It says, do they use Project Bluebeam for the fake alien invasion?
They were trying to use several different things to fake an alien invasion, but there's a lot of dissension about that. The top secret military wants to do that, but it leaked out, and of course the leaders of the countries know about it, and they are not going along with it. So there's a lot of psychological banter going on, because the military thinks that it would be good for the Earth not to use aliens in any way for the future. And so this would destroy all hopes of ever having alien contact, at least for another 150 years. But I don't think it's going to come about, because it's too destructive to mankind, for one thing. And the other is that it is a very expensive thought process.
Okay, thank you. Okay, there's a question from Paul. He says, can you comment on the latest best healing tech through Leering, i.e. pressurized inert gas devices, Tesla coil-induced scalar wave cube, and the low deuterium water?
I don't know a whole lot about that, but I do know that it has been effective. I know that they are, well, with healing, there are so many different modifications happening, so many innovations happening. Of course, you know, the med beds were taken out of phase because the governments were trying to backwards engineer them, and there were some dangerous parts of the med beds that could be used for very negative things, so they decided to take them out of phase. But from what I understand, they got some of the technology and understanding from some of these med beds and are using it for medical use. They didn't get the dangerous part, but they have created their own thought process about it. And so it is what it is. I have not seen it work yet, but they have two places I know where it's under construction and under investigation and testing.
Okay, great. Thank you. There's a question from Ike. He says, was the meeting on Ganymede moon, did it really happen? And who from Earth attended and for what purpose? I think, is that what you were discussing, the meetings or not?
There are many meetings going on many of the moons. The larger moons are preferable. However, they are having meetings on smaller moons as well. The Ganymede moon around Jupiter is one of the areas where there's a lot of bases. There's at least 3 bases on that planet. And also they are having meetings there. Also on Phobos, around Mars, around on Titan, on Titania, on let's see, Triton. So there are several places that are having meetings, yes.
Okay, thank you. Daniel wants to know, were you created by the Anunnakis?
No, I'm not from here.
Okay.
And I'm from another planet in the Andromeda area. And the Anunnaki did not have anything to do with our civilization or the evolution of it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Temple is back. She says, something happened last night. This morning, I made sure the door was locked before I went to bed. And when I came down, it had been open for many hours. Who came and why?
All right. Let me look into this for 1 second before I answer.
Okay.
But I seem to think that there's some warnings here. some they want to cause you to be afraid. I don't think you were afraid that much, but they're trying to tell you that there's something going on that they don't like. I'm not sure what that is. I am not resonating with anything that you're doing right now. That I'm not sure what you're doing. Not that I'm not resonating with it, but I'm not seeing what you're doing right now. But I see that there are certain beings that want to stop you from whatever you're doing. So I would have to look into that a little further. But they are trying to scare you, but I don't think they did.
All right.
All
let me-
right.
yes,
There's more to that, but it's more personal. So I'm not going there.
All right. Actually, this question is for an angel, and we're hoping for an angel to come through. So I'm going to save this next question. Let's see. Swazi says, why do I see futuristic vehicles like flying cars that can go at an angle at any speed on space? Will the Earth have better technology for transportation than cars?
Of course. These things already exist, but not in your
Yes.
world. Actually, they do exist in your world, but they are not, they are top secret, and they're being tested and modified, and they're not really safe yet, not on your planet, but they're being in use on many other planets, and they're fine.
Okay, perfect. All right. There is a question from Jorma saying, is there propulsion behind the asteroid for directing the asteroid to the Earth?
They are wondering that. They cannot tell that at this time, but it does seem unusual that it changed a trajectory slightly. I mean, the trajectory was slight, but it could be from things that are in space that change that direct trajectory. They are not sure, but it is one of their speculations.
Okay. And Curious Light Channel wants to know, can magic and technology be mixed together in the future?
It will definitely, yes, happen.
Okay. Oh, here we go. 24 Daylight says, how do I explain to my husband that aliens exist so that he would be open to believe it?
Well, let me tell you this. Many people are very closed and will not open their minds. And the reason for that is because they're afraid to believe. They're afraid to know. And being that they don't know makes them feel safer. So a lot of people that do not believe in aliens or do not believe in things outside their realm are doing it for a security of their own thought processes. So I would say the most interesting or the most conclusive evidence is if they listen to the military reports that actually say that there are ships in around the Earth. And there are military reports that do that. So if he doesn't believe that, then he's not going to believe anything.
Okay. All right. All right. Let me get back to, okay, here we go. And are the Lemurians of Hollow Earth really Anunnakis?
The what? The Marines?
Lemurians.
Oh, the Lemurians. No, Lemurians are Lemurians. Anunnaki or Anunnaki. There have been both grandfathered in from the time of separation, but Anunnaki are more of scientists. The ones that have stayed behind are still scientists working with DNA, working with evolutionary tactics. That this is their greatest love. They love science, and so they're working in all different kinds of sciences. But there's not many Anunnaki that have been grandfathered in. Lemurians, there's a little bit more. There's several hundred, but the Anunnaki, they've been staying together, and they are in the Mediterranean area, the Anunnaki.
Okay, thank you. And I've lost the whole chat. I'm going to go back to, there's a question in the room from Ian. Go ahead, Ian.
Hi again. You brought up the asteroids, and that may come to mind for me about how the U.S. just recently launched a rocket and what they're describing as a test to see if they can alter the trajectory of a particular asteroid that's orbiting around another asteroid. Is this a true test? And is it just a test just to see if we can do it? Or is it something else? Or do they know of something that or do they know that something is actually going to cause them to deploy this technology in the future?
Good question. The answer is yes, they know. They are sending that up for the reason they said, but there are several other reasons as well that they have not expressed. So they are seeing that there are a great amount of aliens in the solar system, not necessarily in third density, but they're there to, and they're not sure of their what they want to do, so of their intentions. So they are actually looking to see if they can see something into fourth and fifth dimension around these different asteroids. They're also looking to see if there is a danger with the gravitational pools of some of these asteroids. There's many things.
Okay, great. And on a different topic, I'll switch to geopolitical things that are happening here on Earth. There's a great escalation in tensions having to do with China and Russia. China has, recently dropped live bombs in the South China Sea around Taiwan because of the whole Taiwan situation. And of course, Russia's elevating its aggression with Ukraine. Are these efforts coordinated in some way, or are they completely separate and just the usual governments trying to acquire more land? Or is it something bigger than that?
It's something bigger than that. It's a distraction. And they're trying to distract the United States, England, Australia, Germany, many of these. It is what it is. They are definitely causing some problems and some concerns because of what they're doing. But this is more of a distraction so that they can get to what they really want to do, and that is send out more destructive force in the future.
Okay, so it's basically a cover so they can distract. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, they have an alternative agenda that they're playing out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. That's all my questions. Thank you, Grendel.
You're welcome. But we have an eye on them. We know that they are deceitful. We know that these are the kinds of things they have done before, and that has worked in some ways. But we are not going to give in, or we are going to keep an eye closely on some of the other things that we see happening in the Chinese government, especially. Yes.
You're muted, Karen.
Sorry. Joan has a question. I'm going to read it for her. She says, can you tell me about my husband's dream? It's about an alien that came to my house and did something to our dog. He said it was a spaceship and looked like an alien, then asked permission to bring the ship Then they bring it back to us. Oh, they took the dog apparently, and then they brought it back.
All right.
So they want to know why. What are they doing?
What were they doing with the dog, you mean?
Mm-hmm. Yes. The alien asked permission.
They asked
but-
permission to take it.
And then they brought it back. Yeah.
Well, there is a canine species. They were testing this canine for evidence of alien understandings and things of that nature. And they brought it back. I don't know what their main intention was. The canine species is friendly, and I don't know which species would be interested in the canine species, other than the canine species.
Susan has a question. Go ahead, Susan.
Hello, Grendel. I have a couple questions. The first question is, yeah, I recently channeled Enki for the first time, who's from the Anunnaki, and we, myself and a couple other individuals, him and his brother did almost like it was supposed to be similar to a caduceus with the two serpents intertwining, but him and his brother did like a some sort of clearing, and we also did like a removal of the ego, and I'm just wondering how that went. I mean, I felt that my ego felt like it was gone after that was performed, and I'm just wondering if it is possible to remove the ego if you reach a high enough I guess vibrational level or higher density, and the ego is no longer needed if you can intend to remove it.
Let me explain something to you. The ego is always needed to a certain extent for survival. And the id and all those things, they can be reduced. They can be taken out of the top realms, that you can bring them down and bring yourself into a more humble state, if you will. But the ego will always be there, because without the ego, you will not survive in some ways. You will become, I don't know how to explain it, but you would not want to really survive without it. So it can come down, but it will never, ever disappear out of the human element.
Okay, interesting. And then my second question is, I know that there are being so-called like miracle pills being created by pharmaceutical companies that will help alleviate some of the restrictions regarding virus and
no
things.
talking about that on this.
Okay.
No.
But I'm just wondering if those if the pills are good, I guess, once they hit become available.
They are not available yet. And so when they are available, they will have to be approved.
Okay. All right. I'll leave it at that. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Word to everyone. We don't talk about that on this show, this webinar. In private sessions, those are great questions. Okay. All right. Let me see. I'm like, wow. Okay, I'm going to a question from the chat. That's all the questions I have for you, Grendel, so far.
Very well. Then I'm going to take off, and there's others that want to come.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Let me get out of here. Have a wonderful day. Yeah.
Thank you.
Greetings. I am Michael.
Greetings, Michael.
There
You
was
were
a question for an angel.
There was a request from Sheer, and but Sheer had to go, and he said he left a message, and he says, if Michael comes, please tell him that I thank him and we'll speak with him on a later date. Thank you very much.
Very
and
well.
sending so much love to you. But I'm sure there's some other questions. Are there any questions for Archangel Michael? I do have one in the chat here that I'll ask while I'm waiting for other people to say if they have questions. Swazi says, is there something significant happening on 12/12/2021 or 12/21/12? Any portal openings that should?
Well, yes, there are. Remember, a 12 is a 3, and
Right.
3 is a powerful builder. And so there will be some building energy coming on these 333 days. 333 is very powerful and is building to the 12. The 12 is the secret of the universe, the energy of the universe, and will be revealed eventually, but not quite yet.
Okay, thank you so much. Sultan has a question.
Yes, hello. Hello,
Greeting.
Michael. Greeting. I would like to ask about when I do a meditation, I always see a church over the cloud, and I sit over there many times. So I would like to know about this church, please.
The church
Yes,
in the
over
clouds?
Yes.
There are, it is actually a, yes, it is actually a castle. It is actually a place of residence for higher spirits. And it is something that has always been around the planet. There has always been spiritual kingdoms and things around the planet. And you are just able to see them for some reason. There are many different kinds of beings and places that exist around your world. But it means that you are heading in the right direction. Let's put it that way.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Wendy has a question. Go ahead, Wendy.
Thank you. The question that I have is that there are some energies that have been coming in that are like pretty incredible and had pretty much knocked many of me and several of my friends kind of to our backsides. And so could you talk a little bit about the winter equinox and what's coming up next year for equinox and maybe through the summer?
There is many energies coming and always will be, but they have been intensified within the last 100 years. These energies are positive and building, and they are there because humanity needs them. They need the positivity. They need the help of all these energies that are coming. And so that is one thing that I wanted to mention. Positive energies will continue to come through the solstices and equinox. And it will be a plus for you to accept them. It is keeping you away from negativity. It is keeping you focused on positivity and doing things. It is keeping you active.
Beautiful. Thank you so very much. And always a pleasure to be in your energy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Much love to you.
Much love to you as well.
There is more to come. There are more people here.
Oh, there was one. Okay, that's fine.
Is there another question?
Well, there's Yeah, there's two questions for you. Trinity wants to know what friendly aliens are not part of the 2005 separation agreement?
What friendly aliens?
Yes, are not part of the
Oh,
2005.
there's many. There is not that many. The ones that are grandfathered in are part of the original groups, such as Syrians and Orions and Pleiadians, etc. But they are not. There are many very, very positive groups that are not grandfathered in. The bird species, the blue avians are not grandfathered in because they're in such a high dimension, and they were a high dimension back then. So, but they are very positive. But there are many groups, many species. The friendly reptilians are not grandfathered in, even though they are a very friendly group of reptilians. There are some reptilians that are grandfathered in, but not them. I could go on. There is many.
Okay.
Some, I just cannot think of them off the top of my head because there are very many of them.
All right. Perfect. Thank you. Bridget, she says, this week I dreamed on 3 consecutive nights that I was paralyzed and could not speak. Am I in poor health or is it something else?
It's something else.
Okay.
They're telling you that you must be still and listen, that you are going through some training right now. You are going through some angelic thought processes. You are very close to the angels, but you are also having a lot of fears and doubts and things of this nature from 3rd dimension and density. We are here to help. We do not want you to be paralyzed with fear or doubt or thoughts. We want you to move forward, and we are bringing you beauty, compassion, and love, and bringing you into a greater understanding so that you can be more effective in the world, because you do have a wonderful ministry, a wonderful mission.
Thank you. And then Curious Light Channel wants to know, what chakra am I in with white magic? Am I close to the heart chakra?
Let me check. Well, sort of. You're about 77% in the solar plexus.
Okay, great. And Joan has a question. Joan, did you want to ask it?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Joan.
I have a question about my dream. I've been dreaming about spinning myself. I've been doing that in my dream. It was like, it's been 3 times already. So can you tell me what I'm doing on that?
I didn't hear the whole question. What kind of things are you doing in your dreams?
It's spinning. It's spinning myself. It's
you're
like a
spinning.
tornado. Yes. I want to know why I was doing that in my dream. It's been
Yes,
like
spinning tells me that you're close to a vortex or something that is spinning, that has power, and that this spinning is giving you more energy. This spinning is actually adding to you. Did you feel a positivity when you were feeling this spinning?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
It is vortex creation. You're creating a vortex in your room or wherever you were at in this dream. It was actually not really a dream, but an action in the astral, that you are building vortexes.
Wow. Okay, thank you.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes, but I'm just wondering what was that? I mean, and I
There are a
mean,
lot of power in vortexes. You have come to a place in your life where you need extra power, and you need to give extra power to other people. And so this is something that you are doing, and also it is you are moving forward with some kind of thought process that is very good, positive, but the spinning you do not see as positive always, because you see it as just going in circles, but you are not going in circles, not for a bad reason, but for a positive reason.
oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. There's a question from, oh, sorry, let me get back to the other chat. There's a question from, am I muted? Okay. There's a question from Michelle Mullet. She's saying, hi, Michael, can you comment on med beds for couples going to Area 53? Will they have access?
For couples in Area 53, they will not have access yet because they are out of phase from humanity, and humanity doesn't have access to them. Now, if an alien brings a medbed with them, then they will have access, but they will not be have access through the Earth processes or through the Earth humanity. They will not have access that way. Only if someone would bring a medbed out of phase as they come in, or bring one with them, some kind of smaller device.
Okay. She says, please say hello to Uriel for her.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So Trinity wants to phrase her question. She heard about the friendly alien. She said, the friendly aliens who are not in the separation agreement, can we leave Earth to visit and vice versa? Can they come? And can she go?
Not yet.
Okay.
When the agreements have been taken care of, and I will put it that way, when the Earth has agreed to let go of its silliness, then many things will happen that are destined to happen, but they have not happened yet.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me just make sure I've got all the questions here. Oh, Ike wants to know, what is my soul path on this geographical area of Africa?
Your soul path? I cannot distinguish your soul path. You must accept your soul path. You must make the decisions to follow your soul path. But I see that you are a great help, that you have healing in your hands, that you have good information, and that you are a positive being. All these things will go into your decisions. All these things will help you to stay in a mission of great help for your people that are around you.
All right, thank you. And JLo has the last question to you. Thank you.
Hello, Michael. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm very excited to be speaking with you again. It's been quite a while, even though from a different perspective, I'm sure that we've had conversations during my sleep, if you will.
Yes.
Now, I love cats very much, and I had a very fun, beautiful experience. I believe yesterday at night when I was in bed. I was thinking about the parallel incarnations that I have as a Leering.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about how fantastical and wonderful and beautiful it would feel and joyous to interact with them face to face, physically. And I shifted to a state where I felt that energy and it was very powerful, and I felt it course through my body. And at that moment, I had my partner's cat. He was laying next to me, and his paws were, I believe, on my neck. That's just the way that he was positioned. And he jolted upright as if when I felt that energy, when I felt very happy. And then he proceeded to walk toward my legs, sitting upright between my knees, in between both knees, and he was staring at something. And that was very interesting. And I feel like I honestly answered my own question, but I wanted to share that for some reason because it makes me
Yes.
happy. But
It
I do,
was-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, he was seeing Leerings, yes.
Yes, and that's wonderful. I was going to also say that I've been living a very, even though I'm human, human life in the sense that my interactions have been not necessarily reflective of the things that I'm very passionate about, even though, as you might know, there are moments when I have discussed with certain coworkers at the time some of those passions, and it's very fun to see their faces and get a feel for their energy. It's just, I'm in a very, like, I guess, happy, playful mood. But during this process, I have become more self-aware of how I prefer to express myself, even though it may come off as weird to some individuals, of course, I understand. But I was wondering if you had any suggestions or advice in regards to where you kind of see me at the moment, life-wise, and so forth. Thank you.
You dwell in a thought process of moving forward. Although you live a very third-dimensional life, you are still thinking about what to do to move forward and how to bring people into the circle of understanding that you have. Now, you are a very likable person. And so when they hear these things from you, they are kind of surprised. They sort of laugh it off a little bit, but they also take you seriously in some ways. And this is good because you're the kind of person that they would like to be around and have good vibrations and positivity, and you're never angry with anyone. You're always positive with everyone. You always seem to be in a good frame of mind. And so you as this kind of person are actually strengthening your case, even though they may think, oh, he's crazy or weird. They also have to rethink it because they see your intelligence, they see your friendliness, they see how you carry yourself and are able to rise to the occasion on many situations. So yes, you're doing a fine job.
Thank you very much, Michael. Many blessings. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. Thank you so very much. Wendy has one more question. This will be the last question for you, Michael, because we'll have 30 minutes left with the other beings who are apparently waiting in line. Thank you. Go ahead, Wendy.
Thank you so much. I and some other people have recently come into some shamanic experiences. And so I'm wondering if you can talk to me a little bit about jaguar healing and also Celtic healing. That's all.
Well, these are there are many, many, many different kinds of healings on your planet. If you understand and feel them, these kinds of healing modalities connect to you, then you are able to use them. Sometimes with jaguar or Celtic healing, only certain people can use them because only certain people can connect to them. So it is because of how they believe, how the energy creates itself, how it is able to move. And many people have beliefs about how these things are happening. So yes, they all do exist. and even many, many more. But you must align yourself with that energy. That's all I need to say, because aligning yourself with the energy of the Celtics, aligning your energy, the energy of the Jaguar, then you will see what they have to offer. And many times they will offer one person something different than another.
I see. And am I correct in that I'm being called to that?
You do have the connections, and you can use that energy.
Okay, thank you so much for confirming, and thank you for the broader expansiveness of that information. Blessings, many blessings and light to you again. Bye-bye.
Much love. I will go now.
Thank you. It was a lovely, lovely being with you. Thank you.
I am Amenhotep III.
It's very nice to speak with you. Summer had a question for you.
Yes, greetings.
Greetings.
It is said that you were also known as Amenhotep the Magnificent, and that your reign was peaceful. And is that true? And how are you looking at it today?
I look back at my rule as a time when I could achieve or help to achieve peace and understanding with my people. Not all agreed with what I was doing, because there was many that were what you would call hedonistic. They enjoyed the pleasures of the flesh, and they didn't enjoy many things that were not necessarily part of what I would consider a productive or holy life. But within my reign, many things were adjusted so that many people could enjoy their lives without cruelty or the problems that came with the hedonistic lifestyle and the invasion of privacy. I would like to say that my era there was for the better, but it was not all me. I had guidance. I had beliefs. I had understandings, and I had people to support me. And all those things put together created a more peaceful atmosphere, a more peaceful existence, and a more peaceful way of life.
I have another question. Your son, Pharaoh Akhenaten, it was said that he created the Aten Cult, the worship of the sun god. What was Aten? Was it the sun, or was it something else?
As far as I look back to see, it was 18, but it's also the sun, but it was also other things. It was not a monotheistic thought process necessarily. There are many other things involved in it, and he did respect my wishes in many cases with a one superior God, but he did not follow in the path of only one God, but many smaller ones, and ways to use different energies of God.
But you did have contact with extraterrestrials at your time, wasn't that so?
Yes.
Were they guiding you? Were they how did you look at them? Like guides or gods or?
my understanding was that they were highly intelligent, that they had things that we did not have, but that didn't make them gods. It made them powerful, but it did not make them gods because they weren't using God to do some of the things that they were doing. I saw that they were using some kind of magic, or what you call now technology. And it was magic to me, and I saw it as that, and I would tell them that, yes, I respected their power and their magic, but that I also wanted only to serve God. I would not serve them. And they were fine with that because many of them did not want to be looked at as gods and wanted to have a more private life. You will be surprised to know that the people looked at them as gods in some respect, but they would not do things in front of the people as often because they did not want this kind of loyalty.
Thank you for your answers.
You're welcome.
David has a question. Go ahead, David.
Hello, greetings.
Greetings.
So I'm interested in anything you might be able to share with me about my connections with Egypt and things that may help me now and be able to help others and make it to fulfill some of the things that I've heard that are possible as a key holder in the future.
You are a key holder to the Sphinx, correct?
Correct, yes.
But that does not mean that you were a god at that time. But you were a priest. Only the priests could have knowledge of the codes that would open different parts of the kingdom. The different reasons for these codes are to protect certain beings from extinction. There are still some species that are low in population, but human society is helping them to gain strength and immunity, or immune systems, let's put it that way. And so these codes protect some of their DNA information, also protect some of their greatest secrets, and they still want them protected. There will come a time when these secrets will be revealed. But at this moment, we are happy to help them remain. Their species has grown and is now larger than it was. They were sent here to be protected. They were part of the treaties and the treatises that happened here on this planet, but they asked for protection with some of their special relics and belongings, which we did give them.
Beautiful. And okay, anything else about that will help me to be able to help others also?
You always have had healing powers. At this time, your healing powers are strong. You have many other things to overcome in this lifetime before they will be the main thing in your life.
Yes. Okay. And
Yeah.
do we have a connection? Did we know each other or anything?
I did not know you personally, Well, yes, yes and no. I knew my priests and priestesses, but I did not socialize with them. So as far as knowing you well, I did not. As far as knowing who you were, I did.
Very nice. Kiandura ama achichi arakutua dacha. Much blessings.
Thank
Love and light.
you. There's a question from Angie. I want to take her question first since she hasn't asked anything yet. Go ahead, Angie.
Greetings. You were talking about the keys and the codes and in regards to species. So inside the Sphinx, there is information. I'm just trying to understand. So there's information within the Sphinx that has all these codes for the continuation of certain species. I'm just trying to understand.
They were put there so that if the species would go extinct, there would be memories of them and perhaps DNA there to recreate them.
There are several on this planet that have the key to get into the Sphinx, but only is requiring.
There is a music code, a language code, and a symbol code that must be used to get into the Sphinx. There is also a vibrational code that will happen with the music code and all of them put together.
His last question would be that the priest or priestess were given these codes back then. If you are one of the keys, does that mean that you were a priest or priestess in the time that the Sphinx was created?
Correct. It will be it goes down through the generations.
Thank you very much for your time today.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, Jailer, go ahead.
Thank you. Hello.
Greetings.
Is there anything that you found perplexing during your incarnation on Earth?
Many things.
And one in particular that comes to mind at this moment in time?
The heat.
Excellent. Also, how do you perceive humanity experiencing open contact with other civilizations at this moment in time?
I think they are ready to some extent. There are many on your planet that have great fears. However, those fears will be relinquished rather quickly once they see the actions of the aliens. Now, the immediate fear will not pass easily because some are not pleasant to look at. But the immediate fear will end because it must.
Yes. Also, thank you, by the way. Also, how do you perceive, are snakes symbolic to you?
Are snakes what?
Symbolic to you?
Yes and no. They represent a negative portion of belief systems from our time, but they are also an animal that existed that was feared because some of them were very poisonous and there was no way to stop it from killing if it was going to. Now, those things or scepters, or what are they ever? Scepters are called? The things that were made that looked like snakes, but they were held in the hand, scepters. Those were to show power over nature. Those were to show power over all things, because as far as they knew, a snake bite could kill A certain kind of snake bite could kill every kind of animal or being. So it was a symbol of power.
It's typing. Please stop typing. Please mute yourself.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Whoever's typing, please stay muted. Thank you. Okay, there's a question from the chat, from the YouTube chat that says, were there dragons in ancient Egypt and what did they do?
The dragons were not in ancient, well, not around the time I was there. I know that dragons existed in my time, but they were in the Orient. They had been seen far away. They had not been seen close by. They had been seen across the Mediterranean, but in our realm, in our world, there were no dragons to speak of. Perhaps a stray here and there, but they were not a threat to us. Did that answer the question?
I believe so. Thank you. Is there anything you can do with healing or not?
Yes, healing was part of what we did.
Okay.
There were the priests and priestesses that were healers.
Okay.
And there were those that came from other worlds that were also healers.
Okay. 24th Daylight is saying that there's energetic leeches in her neck, and she would like to know, or he, excuse me, I'm not sure, would like some support with sending them to the light so that they are not harming them.
Leeches?
Leeches, energetic leeches around the neck.
That is not all right. I understand. We will send energy to help, yes.
Okay, thank you. And let me just see if there's any more. Paul says, my saliva deuterium is down to 90 parts per million, which is low enough to heal most illnesses in the past 2 years in many patients, but would lower levels likely be more healing for those still doing severe illness?
Is it a question?
I think so. Basically, the saliva deuterium is down. Is his I don't know if it's his own saliva. Paul, I think that's a question for a private session with Jim. You can find Jim via the website hucolo.org, and you could maybe.
I believe that he is, yes, he is doing, this is very good for him, but I do not understand how it affects others.
Lower deuterium levels will help more for healing for other people?
Yes, it will.
With severe illness?
Yes.
Yes, okay, great. And I think I've got all the questions.
Very well.
Rosangela wants to know, does she hold a key to the Sphinx?
You will know if you do. The information comes to you and you will have to know it for a good portion of your life in case you are called. So I would say no at this point, unless someone has said that you already have one of the codes.
Okay, great. All right, and I think that's all the questions.
Very well.
Oh, excuse me, Angie has a question. Thanks, Angie.
Sorry.
This is the last question.
Okay. You said that there are different types of codes, that there are several people that have different ones.
Correct. One person will have a music code, one will have a symbol code, one will have a language code. Those are the three major ones. There could be, there are other levels that would, other codes would come out with those individuals that are holding those codes, if necessary.
Do you see do you see this opening of the Sphinx through these codes in my lifetime?
I cannot say. No one knows when the calling of the codes will happen.
Who sends out the call?
This is another question. The codes will be sent out by one of the relics within the tomb.
But who sends the information to the people who hold the codes to
the relic will, but it will be ignited by someone from the species that holds the relic.
All right, thank you very much. Wendy was asking about is that chamber in the paw or is it in the belly?
It is deep.
It's what I thought. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you very much. We are really out of time.
Very well. I will go.
So sorry, Joan, but that's it. Next time.
Hello?
Hello, thank you. Welcome back.
Thank you.
We had a long talk with Grendel. I'm sure your throat notices it, maybe.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we'll have Wendy do a blessing as we go out, and David will do one. And yeah, we'll end it here, I think. And Yana, did you want to do one too? Yes,
Yes,
she wants
please.
to. Okay, so Wendy, Yana, and David. I'm sure David wants to do one. I'm assuming. Yes. I'm not sure.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right. Great. Go ahead, Wendy. And if you let me just set it up so I can make it on. Okay, great. All right.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Aniori Victoria nia ura ira nia ichurira nana irata iruiri tikia oira nani irata aruiri tik tik koreana na iruira mane oiri ti yuanya na akiani nuani yara. Blessings.
The light will continue forever and ever. Be a part of it so that you may last as well. Bring into the light as many as you can, for your reward will be great as you do so. Let the light understand you and not you understand the light. Be as one. Magnify with it and all that it is trying to do.
Thank you.
No.
Hello. Tērā nā kai te iti e taha ana take ata o kante ata te o kua tate. Ostena ke ata tane te o kua anto o kua te kina ki te ai te o kua tar tene kua. Ha nā te kua tana te ke tua tana ke te ata te o ka tarte te o no ka te u ai te ka. Blessings.
So much is about to happen. Cover yourself with light and love and understanding. Bring out your mercy, bring out your grace. This is a time when you will need it, and it will need you as well. God is guiding and directing, making sure that all of you are safe.
Thank you. David?
Ja, frumma te aso Makatiato Iashana tier kuma anieturo okuku sarata tiare etition. Shayan jarata tier nia ure ndia tiatu. Kera kuskra anatiete. Shuba ate ma kuskre niatiawa. Sora ana ate. Kurma atatia kukushinya ata. Let your love shine everywhere. Kuma anye no ora akiki. Tiara anu atoro akaki. Shero ma anieto. Shinjiran jirakatu uchichia. Peace, blessings.
If you do not know, learn. If you know, teach. If you are someone that is a giver, then give. If you are a healer, then heal. All the gifts must be in use. All the gifts within you must be used. It is not that one gift is greater than another necessarily, but that all gifts are equal, but some are stronger than others. But use them wisely. Use them as they come, and be of great cheer when you are able to bring joy and comfort and healing to another. This is the time for power and understanding, and God is there to lead the way.
Thank you. All right. So thank you so much, Jim. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you to the YouTube chat. Thank you to the room. Next week, we are going to be doing something we've been talking about doing, but we haven't actually done. We're going to, and because Christmas and New Year's fall on Saturdays, we will not be having webinars the 25th or the 1st of January. And Jim will be back the following Saturday, which is the 7th or the 8th. Which one? I'm not sure. I think it's the 7th.
7th,
right?
I think.
First, second, third. Yeah. That's Saturday after New Year's. Jim will be back. So we'll take a little enjoy time with our family. But next week, we're going to set some nice intentions for the New Year's. Wendy's going to lead us in a fantastic visualization of the new year, getting excitement, setting our intention for things to come. I'll be doing a little bit of psychic readings for people on questions about life and things that are going on. And we'll have some blessings and some wonderful offerings from different people that are going to be here. So please, if you're going to participate in this, in some way of showing, how you do your healing or teaching or praying or whatever it is you do, show up a little bit early to the webinar and in the Zoom room. Anybody that's in YouTube, I'll drop the link. You can pop in the Zoom room. If you've never been in, you're welcome to join us. And it'll be a nice little kickoff for 2022. So much love to everyone. Have a fantastic week. Be safe. Be nice to each other, feed the birds, whatever you have to do. Much love to you.